This is Forum. I'm John Michaels, Public Affairs Radio Director. This morning I'm going to be talking with Scott Wick, President and CEO of the Sioux Empire Fair Association. And you might say, why are we talking about something that's going to be going on in August? Well, it's cabin fever. Everybody's had cloudy skies. We're going to talk about summer and plan ahead a little bit here and get it on your calendars a little bit. Two things are the biggest things I think that people make decisions on in the Sioux Falls area, and that's a farm show. And also the Sioux Empire Fair. That's where they get to meet their neighbors and meet other people, see what's new, make some decisions, and I'm sure a lot of decisions were made at the farm show. Scott, how did the farm show go this year?
The farm show had a great attendance, great turnout. A lot of producers were there, and it was well attended by everybody. You know, we did get a little bit of chilly weather, but you know, that's par for the course in Sioux Falls and up in the Midwest. Luckily, we didn't have 12 inches of snow. So we can deal with a little bit of cold weather, but it was a great week-long event. A lot of vendors that were at our place at the fairgrounds, as well as over at the convention center, and then of course a very nice evening over at the Ramcota Exhibit Hall with the mayor's dinner and the sale of champions over there.
And a lot of the prices went pretty good this year, I think.
Yeah, they weren't too bad. You know, there was a lot of concern about, with corn prices being high and with the drought and, speculation we might have a second year of below normal moisture. But everybody seemed pretty happy the way things were going. And, these producers are professionals and they know how to run their business and stretch more out of a dollar and new innovative ways for feeding and everything. So everybody seemed pretty happy with the turnout.
A lot of people don't realize that there's probably a couple hundred students from colleges all over the Midwest that come there to practice judging.
Oh, that's correct. Yes, they come down and they do livestock judging, and they have seminars and breakout groups where they all get together and spend some time down there. And they've been doing that as long as I've been involved with the farm show, and I'm sure well before that as well. And
people also don't know it's one of the biggest rabbit shows, too.
Yes, it is. Once all the sheep and the pigs and the goats and the cattle move out of there, then on Saturday rabbits move in, and then of course on Saturday evening we have the draft horse pull.
And the draft horse pull is kind of a lost art in a way. There's not too many of those teams left.
There's not a lot of them. You know, there's circuits throughout the Midwest where people go and showcase their teams. A lot of teams come out of some of the logging communities where some of them still use some horses in some areas where you can't get to. But and a lot of people really come out to see the ponies. The ponies are they will pull 2.5 times their body weight in general, and they get in and dig down, and they pull more in relation to their weight than a big heavy team. But the attendance and the people exhibiting and the actual teams that were there this year was up from last year, so that's doing very well.
That's good to hear. Scott, the farm show, again, people don't realize it's, 30-some thousand people go to that. And what was the attendance for the Sioux Empire Fair last year?
The attendance for the Sioux Empire Fair last year was right at 287,000, if I remember correctly.
Well, that beats the heck out of a bake sale, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Now, the 10-day, tell us, this last year was the first year for the 10-day, or what was it?
It was 10 days, yes.
10 days. And I think it went pretty well.
It went very well. You know, we did a lot of research. We spoke with fair managers and fair boards as we're at different conventions. We go to the big convention in Vegas every year, and a lot of fairs that had gone to an extended period of time. You know, up here in the Midwest and Sioux Falls, one of the motivating factors was in a 6-day fair with one weekend, if we would have bad weather, you're out that weekend. So we looked at everything that we could do. If you lose a weather day, hopefully you gain it up on another weekend or another day throughout the week. Plus, you can diversify your entertainment. Not so much your entertainment in the grandstand, but the strolling entertainment, the free stage entertainment, the front porch entertainment. You can have people on for the first 3-4 days of the fair, and then you can have them on for the last 5 or 6, and it changes things up. So for the guest that comes out the first part of the week, they come out the second part of the week, and there's going to be something new and fresh for them to see.
How many people do you employ during that time?
We have upwards of 200 people that work during that 10 days of the fair.
So you're probably taking applications even now.
Anybody that wants to come in and fill out an application are more than welcome to come in, because we have many different crews and many different areas that we have to staff people for that 10 days to pull that off.
One thing that I like doing about, talking about this early is that people can get a chance to say, well, maybe we can put together a booth or something like that. Well, how do they do that?
Well, if you're interested in a commercial booth, something that typically would be in the expo building, Mark Myers, our vendor director, he's a teacher in Sioux Falls, but then as soon as school's out in the afternoon, he comes into the office for a couple hours in the afternoon into the evening, and then when there's no school, he's out there. But if you call out, we'll get you to Mark's voicemail if you call when he's not there, and he can talk to you about the size of the booths in the expo building and also the rates. And then outside, we also have some commercial space, and we also have all of our food exhibitors that have booths out there as well.
And again, a lot of people don't know that there's a big horse show that goes on out there during the same time.
Oh, that's correct. There's many different breeds of horses that are shown during the Sioux Empire Fair. We kick off the opening weekend with a 4-H rodeo, and that 4-H rodeo has second year was last year. Moving into this third year, there are about 600 exhibitors that enter events multiple times, 3-4 different events. So it's busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. So that first weekend kicks off with that rodeo, and then there's all the other horse shows that go on as well throughout the week.
Well, the Extension Office also has a part in it. You can enter your favorite pickles or tomatoes or your favorite, there's a lot of things you can enter. And I think they have a booklet they can put out. Is that ready yet?
Well, the premium book is something that we have put out even before my time out there. And as everything is going to quicker and faster in technology, this year they're still deciding, but I believe we're going to be putting our premium book out onto the website so people can enter there and do everything electronically. It's easier to track and measure and organize things. So we're migrating towards that. Everybody is with different things. So, but no, you can come out and pickles, pies, homebrew, different things, quilting, all that's in the Fine Arts building on the campus of the fairgrounds. And also, 4-H is a huge part of the fair with their static exhibits up in the armory, and then also all the 4-H activities that the young people have and are exhibiting during the fair.
So they have a homebrew contest.
Well, I wouldn't call it a contest, but there is, I believe there's about 190 home brews that were submitted for judging.
How do you get to be a judge?
Well, I'd have to ask Pat Reichart. She's in charge of the Fine Arts building, and we can get you down on the list.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of fun things that people can do that maybe they just didn't know about. There's some people that are new to Sioux Falls, and they can say, well, gee, homebrew, that's something I can have as a hobby. Model trains is another big hobby that the fair is about.
Yeah, there's the Model Train organization. They're a permanent tenant at the fairgrounds. Or at the WH Lion Fairgrounds, I should say. We're very, very lucky for the Lions donation that we can have this event. And they're there year-round, and there's a couple weekends a month that they're open for people to come out. But during the fair, they're open the whole time that the fair is open. And it's really a neat display that guys spend hundreds and hundreds of hours. And the attention to detail is amazing at how they can create such an impressive display. And those gentlemen definitely have patience.
And we have a Prairie Village in Sioux Falls.
That is correct. We have we call it Pioneer Lane, and the Century Fund organization that was headed up by Tom Killian, they came out, and we've been working very well with those individuals. They have done roof repairs. They've re-sheetrocked the inside of the church. There's been a freight platform added to the train depot. There's new asphalting going along the entire Pioneer Lane Road. And we just met the other day, and they have many plans on making more improvements to that area. And it's been a breath of fresh air to have those gentlemen involved in getting those old historical buildings brought back up so they'll be around for hopefully decades to come.
I always thought it'd be a good idea to have quarry tours during the fair.
We kind of joked around when we had the helicopter given rides that maybe we should have the helicopter dip down in the quarry, but there's regulations on that, and that's pretty impressive when you're up in the air and you can see the quarry. We were lucky enough to have a tour of it when we first took over. It's quite the operation.
Well, there's no worry about them wanting to buy the Sioux Empire Fairgrounds for quarry, is there?
We haven't heard much about that lately. I believe we've got the support and confidence from the county now that we're going to be around for many years. 3-4 years ago, that was in the headlines every other day, but I'm not getting that indication now. I believe that we're here for a long time to stay, and there's plenty of rock where Sweetman's is at now, and there's other locations. So, it's not the decision doesn't rest with me. It's with the county commissioners. But right now, I believe the Sioux Empire Fair is going to be at the W.H. Lyon Fairgrounds for many, many years.
Well, again, there's many people who moved to Sioux Falls and maybe don't know, but tell us the W.H. Lyon's story.
Well, back in I believe it was in the 30s, Winona Lyon had donated land to Minnehaha County for the use to be for agricultural education purposes and to hold an annual fair that included 4-H exhibits, open class, FFA, and livestock. And also, along with the fair, would be a carnival. So they donated that land, and I believe, if memory serves me right, there were 2 other donations of land beyond that initial one. So we have roughly a 180-acre complex that was donated by the Lyon family that is controlled by the county, and we as the Sioux Empire Fair Association manage that property and hold an annual fair. And we're a year-round facility. We have many, many things going on, the fair being the largest. And the second largest we have, as you opened up with, was the farm show. Mm-hmm. But there's flea markets, we have horse shows, rodeos, bull rides, dog shows. And, of course, we have our permanent tenants that are out there. We have the Sioux Empire Kennel Club, we have the Sioux Empire Safety Village, the roller dolls are out there, the Groove Drumline is out there, and we're just a very large facility that has a lot to offer and some unique buildings that people can come out and rent and have different functions.
What's the future of the ice rink?
We have ice is currently in the expo building right now. Ice will go out the first week of March, and then the second weekend of March is the big bull ride, and we have ice at our facility for one more year. The Ice Association, Sue Salter, former fair manager, has been working with them on fundraising and raising money to for their project and their new sheets of ice that they're going to be building, and I believe they're actually a little ahead of schedule. And so we will have hockey for one more season. It will end March of 2014 if things are going as planned. What
will happen to the equipment then?
Well, the equipment that is used to the compressors and all that can probably be potentially put out there to other facilities to buy as backup compressors or possibly parts to help repair things, or maybe somebody wants to start put a sheet of ice up that they can use it. The glycol tubes that run through the cement will stay there into the cement that we have in the expo building now, and our goal is years down the road to cement the whole inside of that center room so we can open it up for more convention space and just open it up for more trade shows and things of that nature.
Now, the rides this year, the roller coaster is still a big thing.
Oh, yeah, the roller coaster is definitely coming back. I just spoke with the carnival owner yesterday, and that was a big hit. I probably make more of a big deal out of it than anything because I saw the 10 trucks bring it up and the process of unloading and 3 weeks to build it, and then 3-4 days of tweaking and test running it. But it was a great attraction, and he's committed to bringing it back up, and it was a huge hit. And it's not something you see everywhere. It's North America's largest portable roller coaster.
Well, it was the first year last year, but it's one thing that will build and grow is what I'm saying. Do they hire local people to put that up?
They do. They get a couple people local, but they have a foreman that comes in that is the lead guy that sets it up and takes it down, and they do that about 3 times a year. And then there's a couple other guys that they bring with them, but they did hire a couple local individuals last year to help with that, and of course they spent 6 weeks in our hotels and buying fuel and tires and any type of supplies that they need to get that thing put together.
Anyone ride it more than 10 times, or there's some aficionados that just can't quit, riding roller coasters?
Well, I rode it twice a day. I tell you what, I rode it every morning and in the afternoon. When the media was out, they always wanted to ride it. So it was a neat attraction. I really enjoyed it, and it's you don't think it would be. You think it's something portable that you don't think it's that big and that tall, but it really is. It's a great attraction to have at the fair. We're very fortunate to have it.
Well, and the amusement park itself, their rides are the latest and most up-to-date, too. Are they saying anything about any new rides this year?
I just received an email this morning when they said we're going to be very impressed with the mix they bring next year. So we know the top rides and the ones that people like the most will be back, but they have access to over 100 rides. So when we have 40 to 45 on our campus, it lends us the opportunity to change things up so you don't have the same rides every year, and they can bring in some new thrillers and some of the new major rides, and we can rotate those out as every year goes by.
And that 10-day aspect of it helps in that sense.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It like I said, we talked about the weather, but for instance, last year when we opened up on Friday night, we had to cancel our headlining concert because of weather, and it was just unfortunate because Sanford had Train for a concert. We had an opening concert. Downtown Sioux Falls had an event, and we all had to cancel because of the storm coming through. And then Monday, Tuesday were 98 and 96 degrees and hot, and then we end the fair with 68 degrees and rain. So we kind of went through the whole spectrum as far as weather goes. And if we would have just been a 6-day fair, we might not have ended up as well as we did with the 10-day fair. Things work very well. The weekends obviously are the busy times, but we did have a lot of people coming out and comment about, I didn't see that the first weekend. Where was it? Well, it wasn't here. We had the DEMA Interactive Dive Tank come in on Wednesday. We had a couple other attractions come in on Wednesday through the rest of the fair. So it makes for a nice layout and format to keep things new and fresh for people that want to come out. And, you pay your $7 gate admission, and there's a whole lot of things to do for free. And I'll touch on that now. One of the new things this year.
One of the things you're going to hear here first.
You're going to hear it here first. When we first took over, we had a limited amount of free seating in the grandstand, and you could buy a grandstand seat or a front of stage seat. That got confusing. So last year we thought we'd tweak it a little bit. You still had a limited amount of free seating. Then it was one ticket to either sit down general admission or front of stage. That worked out a little bit better, but you know what? What we're doing this year is with a paid gate admission. If you're 13 and older, the gate entrance is $7. 6 to 12 is $2. So with paid gate admission, all of the concerts are free. So you don't have to buy a $25 ticket or a $50 ticket. You pay $7. You come out to the fair. You get to go sit down. It's not reserved seating. It's general admission seating. But you pay $7. You get to go see a concert. Now, we're planning on 6 nights of entertainment in the grandstand. 5 of those are free, 100% free. We know that. There may be a possibility that if there's an act coming through that we feel would be well received in Sioux Falls and meet our criteria for demographics and are the right price point, that people might buy a fairly inexpensive ticket. We may have one show that is a paid show, but we are doing 5 free concerts for sure. And the one that we have confirmed and we're able to announce, and we announced already, is Hunter Hayes. He was just nominated for 6 Academy of Country Music Awards. He's one of the hottest new artists on the market, singer-songwriter, very talented country, but he's also on the pop and top 40. We're excited to have him, and he's going to be Friday night. So that'll be a great concert to have.
Now, are we going to have other than music, maybe a monster truck or anything like that, possibly?
Monster trucks and truck and tractor pulls have not seemed to be a big draw. And we are waiting to get final approval from the PRCA, but we are going through that process, and I'm sure once we finalize that, we plan on having a PRCA Pro Rodeo the last Saturday and Sunday of the fair.
I always liked the lawnmower races on Sunday. That was a pretty good time.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people have come up and said, back when I came out here, we always had the racetrack and we had this and we had that, and it's hard to compete when you have the success of Houston Speedway and the following that they have. And, rather than be in 15 or 16, 20 different things in that grandstand and just do them okay or well, we would just rather concentrate on bringing in good quality concerts. And like I said, you're going to get into the majority of them for free. 90% of them are free. And if we get this rodeo going, I believe that is going to be very well received and very well attended. Where else can you pay $7 and go see a 3-hour pro rodeo? You're going to have cowboys competing to make it to the national finals in Vegas. Good quality cowboys, good stock, and it'll be a good show. And we plan on bringing it back as an annual event.
I've been in Vegas when they've had rodeos there, and it costs a lot of money to go to those shows. Scott, the grandstand isn't just during the Sioux Empire Fair. You've got a lot of other concerts coming up this summer.
Well, yeah, we're partnered up with, we're not partnered up, but we're the venue that Pepper Entertainment uses to bring in the Crow Fest. So that will be at our venue again this year. Last year, Pepper Entertainment had 3 shows at our place, and they have booked the Crow Fest will be there, and I know they're in works for a couple more shows. It'll be there throughout the summer as well. And then again, there's Family Fun Fest. There's out in the east parking lot, there's the South Dakota Truck Driving Championships. There's always something going on out there. Our camping, it's really a unique complex. If anybody ever has any questions, I invite them to come out, and once people get out there, their eyes are wide open on what really happens out there. I have good buddies I went to school with. They're like, "Well, what are you doing?" Well, I'm working. Well, the fair was over in August. Well, it's not just the fair. We have something going on every weekend of the year.
Are the Airstreams coming back anytime soon?
The Airstreams wanted to come back. However, they needed room for 700 camping spots. A lot of people don't realize this. We have 287 camping spots, and there's about 40 or 50 that are full hookups. But their requirements were exceeded what we were able to do and what we financially could even dream about for infrastructure. 700 Airstreams for 10 or 12 days there's a lot of electrical needs. The power is there. We just don't have pedestals for that many campers. So we were not able to accommodate them, but we do have a lot of smaller groups that come through, 30, 40 coaches at a time that come out and camp.
Any car shows coming back?
I don't know about any car shows coming back. Automania left the W.H. Lyon Fairgrounds. They went to downtown Sioux Falls, and now they're in Brandon. I believe they signed an extended period of time to be with Brandon. So, we're open for anybody that wants to do anything. We have the Racer Swap Meet from Bill Lev and different things like that, car related. And then, of course, we have the Benson Flea Market that's once a month throughout the season as well.
I used to announce at the old drag strip that used to be along the side there. That dates me a little bit. But Scott, the fairgrounds, you've got weddings on Saturdays, you've got Latino dances, you've got a lot of things going on in the old National Guard building.
Yeah, we've had several dances, foam parties. We've had wedding receptions. My stepdaughter's wedding reception was in there, and with the help of a lot of friends and volunteers, we decorated that up, and we have pictures of that. You would not guess it was in the old armory. It truly looked like a ballroom from Vegas or anywhere else. It took a lot of time, but we turned it into a very nice venue for an event. And then with the donation from the Art Nordstrom and Johnson family with our new building, we have about an 8,000 square foot multi-purpose building that's getting close to being all enclosed, and then they'll work on the electrical. We are waiting. As you all know, it was a donated building. The building's all donated. We're still trying to raise funds to get services hooked up to it. We need to get water, sewer, electric, gas, phone, any IT needs hooked up to the building. But once that's done, that is a very nice building. Bathroom, showers, kitchenette, PA, can set it up for little conventions. But as far as a room for a wedding reception, it'll lend itself to being that. And this is an air-conditioned building as well, which is nice, where the Armory isn't. And, of course, every Friday night, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, the building will be used for the Faith Temple food giveaway.
Now, that new building you're talking about that is just getting hooked up, where on the grounds is that?
That building is directly east of the where the Armory is.
Okay. Do they still have the old firing range in that old Armory?
No, they don't.
Okay, they took that out. Okay. But Scott, see, I remember too many things. I go back too far. If somebody right now says, well, I'd like to, I got a guitar for Christmas and I've got this band together now, how do they sign up for the front stage?
Well, the front porch is being managed by Pepper Entertainment. So if you wanted to get a hold of Luke over at Pepper Entertainment, and you can go out to their website, get all their contact information. They are managing all the main stage acts, the front porch, and then also the beer garden for the fair. So they're taking care of all that scheduling. So if you have an interest and you're a local group and want to showcase your talents or your band, I don't know where he's at right now as far as scheduling, but they're very, very on top of things. Have been working on it already. So you'd want to get a hold of Pepper Entertainment and talk to Luke.
That's where we're talking now, as people got time to get in early or get a chance to. Any idea what the on-grounds entertainment is going to be this year?
Well, we're bringing back Double Vision. That was the comedy act and the magicians from Canada. And the Lemurs of Madagascar are coming back.
Well, they were really popular.
Oh, I tell you what, Tammy and her crew did a very, very nice job. And it lends itself to a lot of education, too, because they took the time to let the kids and everybody know, where they're from, what they eat, different things about how they live. I'm bringing Sherwin Litton back.
That's a big name.
Yeah, he hasn't been there for a while. He is coming back. Bob Baum Family Fun Show will be back. He's one that came in the second half of the fair last year. The DEMA Interactive Dive Tank called the other day, and they're penciled in to come back. We haven't solidified that for sure. And then we're very close to getting the Olate dogs, who won America's Got Talent. And so that'll be a national award-winning show that we're very close on coming to terms on that. So I'm confident that they'll be coming as well.
Well, you heard it first right here. It's got the if they say, well, okay, we've got this new restaurant now, let's have a food booth out at the fair. How do they do that?
Well, if they want a food booth, they just call Mark and get in touch with him, and he can tell them what the rates are for different frontage and different spaces and location, and talk about electrical needs and things of such. And we're being very particular about food vendors this year because we don't need 15, 18 people selling the same corn dog. We've been very selective about who we're bringing in. We want people who do the corn dogs with the traditional dip the batter and fry it. I'm not into pulling a frozen corn dog out of a box and cooking it. So we've been very selective about, well, put it this way. There was about 18 people who submitted menus, and this is the first year Mark and I asked for menus. We looked at their menus over, and we didn't want the duplication. I mean, we want our vendors to do well and come out, and we want to give our guests a variety. So we cut the 16 people from doing corn dogs down to 5 or 6. And then there's some variations of different corn dogs that they're bringing in. And a new food that might be coming out is a cheeseburger, not a cheeseburger, but a grilled cheese sandwich on a stick. It's a big hunk of cheese on a stick. They dip it in batter and then deep fry it.
There's always something new at the fair. And you went to the conventions. What are some of the things you brought back from the conventions in Las Vegas that might be coming to the fair?
Well, one of the things that we brought back from Vegas was the free concerts. And just the fact that, as technology advances, just being connected, apps for your phone, websites, maps, and the use of the social media, whether it be Facebook or Twitter or whatever, but that's how people stay connected nowadays. That's how they want to get their information. There's so many different forms of media, but it just, your demographics for the fair depend on what you bring in for that concert that night, and you have to market to those folks. But there's a lot of more different variety acts that are out there now, a lot more strolling acts, and we're definitely bringing in. We're spending more money on the free shows that are outside of the grandstand. There's a lot of different things to see, and here in the Midwest, we definitely want to touch on agriculture and get people into the barns. All the exhibitors that come to the fair are so great. I mean, if people walk up and want to know something about an animal or a cow or a pig or a horse, the exhibitors we have and the producers are very, very accommodating and will engage you and talk to you and let you know what's going on. We want people to go through and educate them so they know that eggs and milk just don't come off the shelf at the store. They start somewhere. And South Dakota and the egg producers and the beef producers around here and the people that grow the crops are a huge part of South Dakota and the Midwest.
A big part. The website.
Yeah, the website is www.siouxempirefair.com or .org, and then there's always something new and fresher that Jen has on there, and we update it as soon as we get information. And I wish we had more to talk about as far as the actual entertainment in the grandstand, but the offers are in, and I'm waiting for them to come back and say yes or no or counter offer or confirm.
Well, people still got a chance to get on Facebook and make some requests as to who they do want.
Yeah, Jen has gone out and she's thrown some different artists out there, and people have responded in pretty big numbers about who they'd like to see and voted on different things. When we were thinking about the rodeo, she put that out there as well, and there was a lot of response to the rodeo.
We'll have you back when that happens, too. Scott Wick, President, CEO, Sioux Empire Fair Association. Now's the time to get in there if you want to do something and or apply for a job. I want to thank you for being with us on Forum.
Thank you very much.